How's everybody doing? And before we get into a good prep by Michael, um, I want to show you something I did on my Facebook that Mystery Babylon's been doing. And so you have the cross, right eye utterly darkened from the purple team, transferring to Devil's Advocate University, University of Florida. 138 we know is Donald Trump in simple gematria, where A is 1. And of course, the Florida Gators, same guy, Buddy Martin, did 138 million reasons to investigate the Florida Gators. And we know that the guy coming from Washington with the cross on his face with the right eye darkened, Washington represents, per that apotheosis, on top of the Capitol, which is the dome, which is the womb, which is the matrix. Matrix is the divine feminine. It's the womb. And we know that an IPEC goat, um, he came out of the womb. He was birthed. The Antichrist was. And we know that from the girl with the dragon tattoo also, that Daniel Craig, 007, James Bond, had the right eye wound in the girl with the dragon tattoo. And when she healed his right eye wound, he even said, "Ow, Jesus, that's my eye." Even though it was right above his head, it was the symbolic right eye wound of Daniel Craig, who is 007, who also had a right eye wound in Skyfall and did No Time to Die because what? The Antichrist rises. Where was I? Purple and Scarlet. The purple Washington coach transferred to the Crimson Red Scarlet, or the God transferred over to Ghost in the Machine University, but they're also connecting to Devil's Advocate University, Florida, where they came and got the Devil's Advocate, where they came and got the Devil's Advocate from Gainesville, and even said "Go Gators" doing shots at the beginning of the movie. Okay. I want to now take us to Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland fight, which was UFC 297, 97th verse is the opening of the Seals 98th verse, which UFC 98 is next. And so we're in between. We're in that sweet spot right now. It's perfect timing. When I added 198 for Dricus du Plessis, they were the main event. Now, I don't think the AI or the UFC puts, the AI has the UFC put this together. No, I do not. I think this is just the Holy Spirit putting this together. That's my own opinion. 198 English gematria or simple gematria or English ordinal plus 150. You do 198 plus 150, 198 plus 150. Well, we know the 98th verse right off the bat is the crowning Bible verse. White horse, crown, Antichrist rising from the dead on the third day after the fake staged event. But of course, he appears to the earth as risen from the dead after World War III. Who can make war with the beast? He has put an end to it. At that point, the earth is supernatural. When you add them together, you get 348. 34 is murder in simple gematria. 48 is Donald Trump in simple gematria. So they came to murder Donald Trump. It's beyond fascinating. 493 in the Jewish gematria, which is more biblical. 954 plus, again, these are the names of the two men that were opposed to each other in UFC 297 in the main event, Sean Strickland. And the main event was a movie. And they've been talking about main event, something else. I forget what it was in pop culture. 493 plus 954 in the Jewish of these two men's names. What did I say? 493 954. Did I do that right? Yeah. It's 144,000. The church, followed by the number 7, which is cleansing. That's why you got 7 letters to the 7 churches in Revelation. Church is about to go through its cleansing. It's perfect. And that's the Jewish, like I said, it's biblical. I don't think the UFC or the AI had the UFC put this together. I think the Holy Spirit put this together. That's just my opinion. I could be totally wrong. I'm good with being wrong. I just throw stuff out there, best of my opinion. You decide. Let God be true and every man a liar. And if you multiply them out, 150 times 198, you get 297, and it was UFC 297. Now, what would be the chances of that? And then the Jewish 493, 954. 493, yeah. Multiply them out, and it's 470,322. I know. I know. That's so crazy. Gematria for prime is 61 and 184. I was looking stuff up there. And then there's Iron Man, and I was looking stuff up there. We'll do that later. The song Iron Man, the movie Iron Man. Need to run that through the Abomination of Desolation. I will say February 2nd, Groundhog Day, is 753. Remember the clock ticking. That means time. It's 753 from when we discovered the transfer portal of time. The transfer portal was Janus Tenet. They just ran something to do with Tenet on, what was that called? Oh, I forget his YouTube. Hang on. It was Cortex Videos, and they just did one, and I guess it was on Instagram where it flashed. It said Tenet. See if I can find it. And there it is right there. It was posted just yesterday. It said only in theaters. 2/23/2024, Tenet for 1 week only. They're going to re-release it, it looks like. And Christopher Nolan's Tenet is back in theaters 1 week on February 20. So it's 2/23/24. And Michael will tell you that's 322 backwards. I've got a playlist on that time frame. February 20th, 22nd, you know, the 222 time frame, all of that. The 224. Just that whole time frame is there front and center. And when you go to the playlist, what did somebody say? Not sure if this is connected, but I have found other connections with Ethiopian calendar. Checking out my birthday, 222, which converts to 614. Let me remember this video, 220. Wow, that's the 220 we're talking about. That's an old video, the year 2022. And yeah, it's all talking. The year 2022 really speaks to February 22nd. It's an old video. And but thank you. Super Bowl in Sin City, the man of sin revealed. Okay, man of sin revealed in Sin City. The man of sin is revealed at the Abomination of Desolation after World War III when he has seemingly returned from the dead. 211. Watch The Walking Dead, season 11, episode 2. Look at the mural on the wall 18 minutes in. Well, that's fascinating. Thank you. And I believe it. So I was going to show you the playlist real quick, as I have a myriad of playlists because, y'all, this is a puzzle. There it is right there. February 20th, rises on 22nd. We have Valentine's Day event. May 4th, February 12th, rising on Valentine's Day, rising on Valentine's Day. Whoops. I've got two different playlists that are basically the same. One's 19 videos, one's 3 videos. Whoops. There's February 1st event date. I can get rid of New Year's Eve event. Yay. And okay then. Speaking of New Year's Eve, when is the Chinese New Year?
February 10th, 2024.
It's February 10th. It's on the eve of the Super Bowl.
The Chinese New Year begins on Saturday, February 10th, 2024, whereas in 2023, the Chinese New Year.
That's why it's a very interesting playlist. All of them are. Just see what strikes your fancy. I mean, seriously. What are you going to do but half the calories? As the commercial used to say. Now, Michael's looking big at tomorrow's event in Las Vegas. My total photos in the cloud hit 38,000 today, like the stock market. Wow, that's crazy. All right, he said Las Vegas giant sphere eyeball is freaking some people out. That is a blue eye, which is Trump's eye. U2 is the opening act. They'll be there through early April. Their 2017 Joshua Tree Tour featured Trackdown episode. They also have a song called Exit, which is about Trump. And I don't know why I can't. Okay, 9/29/2023, 127. Oh, from the opening of the Sphere to 127 is 121 days. That's fascinating. Tomorrow's a big day. Straight up, plain and simple. He's in Vegas. Is he still there? Let's check it out. There's Vegas. Big League Dreams. Think of Field of Dreams. I want you to look at tomorrow, which is 27 times 2024, of course, times 1 January, which keep it the same number. Trump's number ends in 464. It's in the heart. Remember, his number is 163464. When you times 6 times 14 times 1946. That in itself is fascinating. It ends in 48, which is Donald Trump in full reduction. Right now it's 710, which is Eve in Jewish gematria. Is today the eve of the event? Michael is telling us it is, to the best of his knowledge. If not, we just move on like we always do. No big deal. Now we're going to go to, let's times it by Trump's number. Tomorrow's date. Well, right in the heart is the 98th Bible verse. Well, I mean, 98, and we know the 98th Bible verse of Revelation is crowning white horse. Let's take Trump out of it. Just go back to the number and then future tense, 339 days left in the year times which day it is. It's the 27th day of the year. So that's all the numbers. And look what you get. So when you key in the date times the day number times how many days left, you get 500, which is Antichrist and Strong's Concordance. And at the very end, you get 144, which is the church. It's a single digit followed by a 0, so we multiply it by God. You get 357, which is the amount of verses in the book of Daniel. So tomorrow's a big deal. You also have 175 here, which Revelation 17:5 is Mystery Babylon the Great. You have an 838 here. 83 is murder code in Gematria. 38 comes to murder in Gematria. Like we've shown you many times. Let's go ahead and look at big dreams, big league dreams. We can go to, where is our Google? Address is, so it's 89101, which is 911, 911. Just take out the 0. It's on Washington, which is God, the apotheosis, which we just showed you. It's at 3151. So let's do 3151 is the address times the zip code of 89101. Was that right? Was it 89101? It was. You multiply them out. Nothing too spectacular. So let's now do the entire address times Trump or times tomorrow. 3.151 89101. That's the entire address. Let's just times it by Trump. You have the 86. You have 120, which is Adam. Strong's Concordance, Old Testament. Let's back Trump out. Now let's times it by the 27th times 2024, tomorrow's date. And there's murder in Jewish Gematria, followed by the church, 144. It's a big deal. So tomorrow sets up magnificently. If you look at the phone number, it's 444, which we know 37 is the 12th prime number. 12 is number for the church. When you go 37 times 12, you get 444. So 444 is a critical number for the church because it's prime number for the church. Let's close out with Michael's prep. Flashback U2 resurrect exit on 2017 Joshua Tree. Exit plays the Dr. Walter Trump being shot. He was talking about building a wall to save them all. The Bee Gees were live in Las Vegas, and of course, they do Staying Alive, which was at the Georgia Guidestones. The Raiders played the Broncos for the last game of the season. That's Right Eye Utterly Darkened. There's your 89 again, which is the zip code. White Horse Broncos, 89 also. That's 2 89s, isn't it? Mustang 289 or Horse Symbology. The Mustang 289 engine. Fascinating research. I've compiled massive amounts of evidence that it's going down in Vegas Saturday at the Major League Dreams. Trump was already the victim of assassination in Vegas 91. In Vegas, 91 months, 10 days prior to Saturday. That's 9/11 code again. Last June, the Vegas Golden Knights win the Stanley Cups. Knights. The Dark Knight rises. He is Goldfinger, his penthouse of gold. Fascinating, Michael. Apollo 1 was destroyed on 1/27/1967. Of course, he's Apollo. That's 57 years ago to the day that Trump will have their fake staged event in Vegas on 1/27/2024. 57 equals Trump assassinated in Gematria. He is Apollo 1. Keep following the space connections. This 100% crazy. Apollo 1 was supposed to take off on 2/21/1967. Again, that is a high watch date range for me. Also, I have playlist on that. Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 38 years ago on 1/27 or 1/28/24. January 28, 1986. Oh, including both dates, he said. Okay. Krista McAuliffe. She will be 116 weeks old, or Trump to her birthday. Okay. It's 116 weeks. 116 is backwards, upside down, 9/11. Trump was just in Concord, New Hampshire, home of Christy McAuliffe. She was born exactly 116 weeks after Trump. The world will change on Saturday, 1/27/24 in Las Vegas. I can write a book on why it happened that day, how much info that I have on it. Yeah, and I've been talking to him on the phone, and hey, it's 718, y'all. Porsche 911, Porsche 718. By the way, that was a 71817, so it was backwards and forwards tenant wise when we clicked on that time, but the Dark Knight came out on 718, Porsche 911, Porsche 718. But I've been talking to Michael a lot on the phone, and he's been just, I told him, you got to have your own YouTube channel, get your own YouTube channel. I'd watch it religiously, but he's got his Twitter, Michael in Truth, at Twitter or X. That's Michael in Truth, and or Michael Letts, LECTS. Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. It's got 138 code in there. Liftoff initial. It lifted off at 11:38. Nice job, Michael. It's fascinating. I'm telling you, does he need his own YouTube channel or what? Of course he does, because he could be doing, he's got 40 times more information than what he emailed me. Takes some time to email. He just does all this research. JFK assassination to tomorrow is 60 years, 66 days. 1/27 is the day that will be remembered. Las Vegas, Nevada is the place. There have been Super Bowls on January 27th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go down them. We got January 15th, 14th, 12th, 11th, 17th, 16th, 14th, 13th, 12th, 18th. 9th, 15th, 21st, 20th, 25th. Now we're getting sort of close. 24th, 30th, 22nd, 20th. 26th, 25th, 31st, 22nd, 28th. And there's 27th. That's the Giants and the Bills at Super Bowl 25. Guess what? That's the one I attended. It's in Tampa Stadium. Look at the attendance. 73813. 38 is what? Murder in Gematria. His rising day would be the 29th. That's a Super Bowl also, isn't it? So that was Super Bowl 25 on the 27th. What else? Going through. Thank you for your patience. I'm too lazy to pause. But I'm a lazy guy in general. Let's go back through and see if there's a Super Bowl on the rising day, which would be the 29th. If there is not one, that tells you that his is unique. It is the Super Bowl. There is one on January 29th, which would be the Rising Day. Super Bowl 10. Okay, Super Bowl 29 on January 29. It was the Niners and Chargers, 49-26. Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami. Let's keep going. Anything else on the 29th? No. All right, you do have one on Groundhog Day. Then I'm looking at Chiefs Niners. There's a day after Groundhog Day. Patriots Rams. That's 13-3. From Revelation, 13-3. That's the biggest coded one you'll ever get in your life, because in the movie Groundhog Day, and I still think Groundhog Day is the first, the second, the third, rising on Groundhog Day. Now, really going down on the first or the second, rising on the third or the fourth. That is just the most gigantic time frame for me right now. And I've got other videos that I was more sold on at the time. Especially all the prime numbers that connected to May. May is their divine feminine month, which is when you would birth the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is birthed by the divine feminine. But for now, let's just stick to where we're at. This is all just really fascinating. All right, that's it. Love y'all. Great job, Michael.